John Waters, take one, Stick and Sticks.
My type is the opposite of me in a lot of ways. I'm amazed when we have Bear Weekend. You just want to hang around with every person that looks like you. And I think they look great, but they all look like each other. I don't understand that. If you want to yourself, jerk off. I mean, why would you want to? Everybody has a type, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and sometimes I guess people's types are a mirror image of them. Then I'd have to have sex with Steve Buscemi. We're friends, but we're not buddies. I'm John Waters, and I'm this year's logo legend, which means I'm old. And thank you very much.
John Waters is an icon.
His films are unabashedly queer.
John Waters is like the godfather of camp and like the modern kind of queer aesthetic.
He is possibly the queerest man on earth and the filthiest. So what a fantastic combination.
John Waters is the perfect logo legend.
We've had so many incredible movies, pieces of art from him that have been such a fabric of the queer community.
I once ran over him in the car. He was on a bike in Provincetown. I backed out of my driveway and hit him. Oh, that's how I met him. He was not happy though. Whew.
When I started, I made underground movies, that's what they're called. And then it was midnight movies. And then I graduated to independent movies, and then I made Hollywood movies, and then I slid back down to Hollywood underground. I think that's probably what you could call a dirty shame. Like every kid that starts to make a movie makes it with his friends. We used to jump out of the car and run and shoot stuff, or paint graffiti all over walls up just and then shoot there the next day. I hung around with mostly straight, crazy suburban rebels, juvenile delinquents, and then we went downtown to meet beatniks, and we met gay people and artists and black people, and then we all hung around together and took LSD together, and we were completely different, and we got strength from that. Baltimore is a character in my movies. It should be in the list of characters at the end, Baltimore playing itself. To me, Baltimore has been exactly like I've been. Didn't want to fit in, could make fun of themselves, but don't you make fun of me. I'll do it first.
Before it was cool to feature queer people on film, John Waters did. And in such a fun, irreverent way.
And it just goes against like a lot of like the societal tropes that many of us have seen time and time and time again.
The first boyfriend, I'm trying to think, was, yes, Pat Moran and I had the same boyfriend. Two of them were the same boyfriend. and then they became boyfriends. So I think we were all just experimenting and figuring things out. I knew about gayness because I read Tennessee Williams, because of reading. That's how I knew there was gay people, really. And I remember David Lockery, when I first met him, he said, you know what gay is? He said, because you are. And yeah, I guess you're right. But I think that the way the movies, how they attacked everything, confused people about my sexuality. Ming told me she didn't even know I was gay when we lived together. But I never, people said, when did you come out? It sounds like a bar mitzvah to me. I just figured, well, do you see the movie? What do you think, a straight person made that?
He has made being whoever you are, however outrageous you are, acceptable.
If we didn't have him, there'd be a hole in pop culture. Who else is the John Waters? Who else walks in here and has a quip, walks out, looks amazing, and then goes out into the world and everybody is walking behind him like, thank God I know who that guy is.
John Waters is a huge legend for saying whatever the you want to say.
We used to go to Coney Island and do poppers going up the roller coaster, and that's a big roller coaster. So when you're coming down, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Black Beauties was biphetamine. They were like diet pills, the strongest one. You'd stay up for 2 days and go see 6 movies. Chewing your gum like, oh, you never ate anything, just see movie after movie after movie. Baltimore gay bars, I'll be honest, I never loved any of them. Oh, the best one ever, the Atlantis. It was right next to the prison, and it was male go-go boys who danced around the bar and teabagged you. They hit you in the head with their balls, and it was all prisoners because it was right next to the jail. So when they got out of jail, it was the first place they could get a job. It was great. I took so many people there, and they couldn't believe it. It was all like straight criminals dancing around the bar.
Pink Flamingos, to me, I have a very clear, vivid memory of renting that VHS. And just seeing Divine on the cover was just so appealing to me at a young age, and renting it opened up a whole new world to me.
Pink Flamingos was inspired by my love of censorship laws falling. It was a joke on censorship, and it was supposed to be the first exploitation film for art theaters, and it worked. It didn't work in drive-ins because people knew we were making fun of the genre that they loved. They didn't go to those movies for irony. They went to them because they were jerking off or screaming. In my films, if everyone likes it, my core audience would hate it. So it's a thin line. You have to have the extremes. The people that hate it and like it are the ones I make movies for, not the middle. Although I've ended up in the middle. Hairspray is certainly a giant hit in Middle America, which is the most devious thing I've ever done. It's being performed in grade schools in Florida. They don't stop Hairspray from being made, and it's two men dancing together singing love songs. It's encouraging interracial dating with teenagers. Even the dumbest racist likes Hairspray because it makes them laugh, and it's sneaking in the values, and that's what humor does. That's why humor is the best defense.
It was incredibly brave for him to create the films that he did, specifically working with Divine. I mean, come on.
Divine, who was like the ultimate drag queen goddess.
I had a very inadvertent relationship with him because my favorite movie growing up was The Little Mermaid, and he sort of put Divine in front of people, inspiring, of course, Ursula.
Divine lived up the street from my parents, literally the joke. He was the girl next door, kind of. And Divine was in high school like a nerd, kind of, got beat up because I was terrible. He didn't have a good time in high school, but he used that rage to become the character of Divine. I think Divine became a drag icon, and you said it, I didn't, because before there were no large ones. They were the reason Tracy Turnblad became famous, because she was the lead and got the guy and was there, and she was a fat girl.
Growing up as a chubby Cuban girl and not getting any of the parts that I wanted, I was never seen as the ingenue, and Hairspray was the first time I ever got to see someone who looked different be the ingenue, the love interest, and that really inspired me.
It's all about being queer without saying it. And on top of it, he was talking about race relations, he was talking about music and segregation. He's a master at the highbrow, lowbrow.
What makes somebody legendary, they last and they don't sell out and they continue to surprise people no matter what age they are. I just have always made the next movie, book, everything that I thought would make me laugh. And I'm lucky enough where there's enough people that agree with me.